Oh man, I'm excited about this. What's your story? Because there is likely a very big difference between what is and the story that you tell yourself about what is your life's situation. It's the story that matters. And I work with a lot of at-risk youth, and they've had some let me strike that word pretty. They've had some horrible experiences. I think I'm going to just stick my focus on when we were children, because children take on a lot of responsibility for the problems of us adults. When parents get divorced, a lot of times kids will say, well, if me and my brother weren't fighting all the time, mommy and daddy would still be together. But it wasn't the mistake. It wasn't the kids fighting that caused the parents to get a divorce. It's not a kid crying as a baby or kids being annoying that caused the parents to split up or whatever the case may be. But human beings will rationalize and take on the responsibility and the blame. See, I think there's a difference there. Taking responsibility for your life in order to create the life that you want to have. There's a difference between that and blaming yourself for the bullshit of other people, especially when you were a child. It's the rationalization that happens with that immature mind that can't really make sense out of situations. So they believe their whole entire life that this person left, that person left, somebody maybe even passed away because of me. And that stuff simply is not true. I wish I could give you some specific examples of what I've heard recently about the blame that children take in their lives. This is the story that we tell ourselves. There's a whole freaking therapeutic modality dedicated to this type of thing. It's called narrative therapy. Narrative therapy says the problem isn't the problem. The problem is the story that we tell ourselves about the problem. It's formed our paradigms. The paradigms contain things called core beliefs. So if I believe that my mom left when I was a kid, my dad never had anything to do with me because I made too many mistakes. As a child, think about this. I made too many mistakes. I was annoying. Me and my brother fought too much. These are ridiculous examples to think that that's why dad left, that's why mom left, that's why this happened, that's why that happened. But I'm telling you, it happens. I've done it. I guarantee you that you've done it too. And these thoughts that are sometimes negative and unconscious come from a place of three major core beliefs. The story that we tell ourselves is related to one, two, or maybe all three of them. I'm worthless, I'm hopeless, and I'm unlovable. These are the parts of our paradigm, or I also like to say they're the parts of our water. Because there's a quote that I love that I don't know who discovered water, but I know it wasn't the fish. They've always known and been submerged in the water. They're not aware of the water. So this story and these core beliefs and the paradigms that they are attached to, a lot of times are unconscious. And like the father of developmental psychology said, until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our lives and we will call it fate. And I guarantee you that whatever you believe, God, the universe, creative power, whatever it is that you believe in, it is not the will of that or anything that loves you for you to believe the ridiculousness of some of the lies that we've been telling ourselves since we were children about who we are and why things have happened. If I believe that I'm unlovable because I'm annoying or because I've made mistakes, then we're not going to take chances. We're not going to believe in relationships. And these things, until we make them conscious, will guide and direct our lives and our relationships as adults. I'm a 41-year-old man, and I've done this a lot in my life already. I reflect, and I want to know, and I challenge my very basic beliefs. I've had identity crises in life that have been difficult to get through, but because of those things, I've reached a new level of awareness about who I am, and that's what I want to encourage other people to do, because as you gain more awareness, you gain more freedom and more power to choose and create the life that you so desperately want. But you have to challenge yourself. You have to ask these questions. Well, how do I do that? How do I know what stories I've been telling myself? You have to challenge yourself. Get with somebody like me or somebody that can help you explore these things, breaking things down, asking why. It's hard. It's the most difficult work of life, and it's also the most important work of life. None of us should work on anything more than we work on ourselves. Let me tell you, man, it's like me saying, my dad backhanded me across the room, which is not acceptable, right? But as a 6-year-old kid, well, if I just wouldn't have spilled my juice, then daddy wouldn't have done that. That's not the way it is. So you grow up learning that if I can just avoid mistakes, then I can avoid pain. And if you want to be successful with anything, you have to be willing to fail and make mistakes. The only people that don't fail or make mistakes are the people that never try shit. And you and me have done the same stuff. So what other stories am I telling myself that are holding me back because I got shit to do? And these effing stories that are ridiculous lies have no place in my life, and they will absolutely hold me back, and they will hold you back as well. So, what is your story? I care about you guys. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. It's a very mutually edifying thing that's going on here. Figure out the ridiculous things that you've convinced yourself of over time that are directing your life in a way that you don't want to go. And if you can't do it by yourself, then find somebody to help you out. Please take what you need and leave the rest.